All three of us submitted 3 stories. 2 are true. One is a lie. I showed up to a house party completely naked. You're both wrong!
Oh! I almost went to the Olympics for swimming.
We believe you think.
Yeah. We believe in your head.
I broke my arm trying to impress my crush.
I didn't hear about this. Everybody know but me?
I did kind of make a reference because I was like, oh man, something just happened to me.
Welcome back to Delve Deck Stories. Today we are playing 2 truths and a lie. So all 3 of us submitted 3 stories. 2 are true. One is a lie.
Ooh.
I'm going first. My first story is who's the worst person you ever dated and what made them the worst from the venting deck. My boyfriend cheated on me right in front of me.
Compelling.
Ooh.
First thoughts. Truth. Lie. Me no.
All of my stories involve the same person. They all involve Paul, my
And it all
ex-boyfriend.
happened in one night.
At this point, I'd been dating Paul for about a year. I put dating in quotes because he would tell me he loved me and call me his girlfriend when it was convenient for him, and then change his mind and act like I was crazy for thinking we were in a relationship.
How long were you with this person?
2 years.
Woo!
Also, that's not his real name. Don't try to find him. I actually do. That guy. The whole thing was very dramatic and stupid. One weekend, my roommate had some friends from high school visiting and crashing on our couch. We were all hanging out and drinking, and Paul came over. Sometime after midnight, I'm going to give some backstory really quick. Paul and I lived in the same apartment complex.
Okay.
And this apartment complex had a rec center that closed at 10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's the context we're getting. Sometime after midnight, we all decided to sneak into the rec center to hang out in the hot tub because this is something that we did regularly. So we grabbed some drinks, swimsuits, and head over. I was very drunk, and I remember sitting in the hot tub, laughing with my roommate, her friends, and Paul. Then I was talking to my roommate, and all of a sudden, her eyes went wide. I turned to follow her gaze and see that right next to me, Paul was making out with one of her friends. I was like, what the f*** are you doing? He broke away and was like, oh, I don't know.
I thought that was you. That's not your tongue?
What? I was furious, grabbed my things, and stormed out. He followed behind me, yelling that I was being dramatic.
Oh, give me a break, Paul. Suck it, Paul.
I was like, why would you kiss someone in front of me? He kept trying to say that it was her fault because she kissed him, so what was he supposed to do?
And then she took my hand and she put it on the back of her neck, and then it was the passion from her. I had no choice.
Yeah.
I had to reciprocate. What? Then I'm called a bad kisser?
But as far as I could tell, they were deep into making out with each other, so even if she started it, he hadn't stopped her.
And nobody finished.
I was crying and telling him he was a cheater, and he kept saying we weren't actually dating, so I couldn't be mad at him.
Oh, what?
It was
You
really
don't
cool.
just
It was
casually
really cool.
date for 2 years. That is just...
We did.
Yeah, we did, yeah. No, I mean, like,
it was really stupid.
the idea that you could be like, oh, yeah, we're just, like, friends with
Yeah, but then he would
benefits.
be like, oh, I love you, like, oh my God. Or we would be not together, and then I would hook up with somebody else, and he would be pissed at me. You know? It was like one of those situations.
How do we find this guy?
But like, anyway, in Colorado, the whole thing was so messed up, and it made the rest of the weekend super awkward since the girl he kissed was still sleeping on my couch.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Awkward.
I mean,
That's
at this
my first
point,
story.
might as well just go sleep in his room.
Yeah, I
Hussy.
guess.
Yeah.
I think that's true. Are we supposed to say this at the end?
You can say that, and then at the very end, you get to decide
Okay,
between
gut
all
reaction,
of them.
that's true.
I'm going to wait.
You're going to wait.
I don't want to
Okay.
jump in yet. I
You're
need to
like,
get the
I
full...
think you only date good guys.
Yeah, yeah. Good
I
guys.
think you have good taste. Thanks, Gabe.
Yeah, no problem. I just want to get all three in the full picture and then go, you know.
My next story is, what's your best no one will believe this but story from the
That's
slash
it. That's the
beach
lie.
ball.
That's the lie.
I don't believe it already. I showed up to a house party completely naked.
Icon, if this is true.
I don't know.
Huge if true. We'll
This
see.
is in college?
Yeah.
The all-star Paul from Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know if, you know, what... Okay, all right,
Yeah.
okay.
In college, I shared an apartment with two friends and started hooking up with one of our neighbors. I'll call him Paul, even though that's not his name, but that's not the lie. Just so we're clear. That doesn't make them all lies. The apartment complex had a small rec center with a hot tub that closed around 10. One night, Paul and I were at his apartment and decided it would be fun to sneak into the rec center to use the hot tub. We brought a bottle of tequila to drink, and eventually our swimsuits came off too. We were fooling around when all of a sudden a flashlight beamed on us, and we heard a security guard yell that the rec center was closed. We both jumped out of the hot tub, grabbed our clothes and the bottle of tequila, and sprinted back to my apartment since it was closer. We burst through the door, soaking wet, fully naked, and holding half a drunk bottle of tequila, only to find that one of my roommates had decided to throw an impromptu house party. Everyone turned, and my roommate yelled, "What the hell, Tess?" Followed by everyone cheering, because what else are you going to do when two naked people run into a party with tequila?
Yeah.
Body shots!
What do you think?
True. The tequila.
All true.
True. I'm really gullible, and I'm really bad at knowing when people are lying. So I'm not a good contender for this game.
I don't know. It's a good story. And I could see it happening. But I don't know yet.
All right.
I need the third one to
We'll
really
see the
put the
third
pieces
one.
together.
Next.
Okay. My final story. What's your not my proudest moment story? It's my fault a bowling alley has to give out wristbands at the door.
True.
All true. There's a bowling alley in Flagstaff, Arizona that cards people at the door and gives you a wristband if you are over 21, as if you're at some sort of festival, even though it's a totally normal bowling alley. This is my fault.
What a way. What a hook.
I was at this bowling alley one night with Paul again, and he was buying me drinks since I was only 20. I had a fake ID, but it was easier for him to get drinks at the bar and bring them over to me. So we're hanging out, drinking, and bowling when this group of men come over. One of them pulls out his badge and tells us they are the police and we need to show them our IDs. Paul shows him his and is cleared, and I open my wallet, panicking about what I should do. Do I show them my actual ID and get in trouble for underage drinking, or do I show them my fake ID and hope they fall for it? What would you do?
I'm saying I don't have my ID.
Yeah, I would say I don't have my ID.
No, but then the place would get in trouble. I think I'd be like,
I
oh
must
my,
have dropped it.
I had it when I got here.
Yeah.
I would start
I'd be
crying, shitting myself, vomiting.
Like, be like,
having
oh
an
my God,
exorcism.
I had it. Well, I went to the bathroom
Yeah,
earlier.
gaslight.
I guess
Robot's
I flushed it
gatekeeper.
down the
Drop it?
toilet.
I think
I ate it?
I remember. I
Drank it.
actually had to use it as a tampon.
Yeah.
I was out.
Do you want to get it out for me?
You
Yeah.
can grab. It's like a diva cup, so it's flat in there. So
Yeah.
you might have to scoop.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You want
And
the
it's
visual,
like
Gabe?
day 2, so
It's a heavy flow
it's
day.
heavy.
Tess actually is the CEO of Diva Cup. If you guys knew that.
I hesitated for a moment, and then the guy standing behind me said, "Looks like you have 2 IDs in there. Why don't you take them both out?"
Oh, go f yourself.
Oh,
Go
man.
f yourself. No. Simply put, no. I'm eating both of them.
This is a person who was like there at the bowling alley, not one of these cops.
No, this is cops. There's like 3 or 4 of them.
And I'd be like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
I have a similar story.
Yeah, and they were just like plain clothes also. It's f***ed up. All right, anyway. Well, I handed both of them over and was promptly arrested for underage possession of alcohol and a fake ID. The bowling alley almost lost their liquor license, and they ended up contacting me and asking that I give an official statement to the court saying that it wasn't their fault. I felt bad, so I agreed and gave an official statement saying that I didn't buy the alcohol myself, so it wasn't their fault. They were able to keep their liquor license as long as they started carding people at the door and having an easy way to identify who is over 21, hence the wristbands. As far as I know, that's still the case to this day. Sorry about that.
Okay, so I think that's true too. So I'm guessing that the second one is the lie because that happened to somebody else, but not you.
I think the first two are real, true, and the last one's a lie.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't a bowling alley. Maybe it was an arcade.
Well, I don't think she got arrested.
Okay.
I don't think she got arrested, and I don't think it went on a record. So, like, I don't know if that's the aspect, but that's the part where I'm like, I don't think... Tests are too good. I don't think that would happen to you.
I would never get arrested. All right, so you think...
I think the bowling alley's a lie.
A lie. You think...
I think
the
they're
naked
all true.
party.
To be honest,
you think the naked party's a lie?
I don't know. Gabe's got. I don't know. I don't know what happens when you're a minor under possession. And do you get arrested or do you? No, right? No, you just. Second.
And a fake ID.
Is that an arrestable offense? A jailable? I think number 2.
Arrested doesn't mean you went to jail. Just to be clear.
But it's on your record?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
Okay, I think the second one because you seem to know a lot about this.
You're both wrong!
Oh!
First one's a lie.
What? So what happened?
What happened? What do you mean?
Like there was
Did it
that
ever
never happened?
The cheating in front of me?
Yeah.
No, that didn't happen.
What? Damn. The naked story is a little crazy though, Tess. That's
It was
insane.
pretty crazy.
What did you do?
Yeah.
How did you recover from that?
Yeah.
Did you just run in and change or did you party naked? Do you remember?
I know what we
you-
did, and it was party naked. For a little bit.
You're
Yeah.
so iconic for that. Oh my god.
Guys,
then-
I used to be kind of an insane person.
And then on campus, it was like, oh my God, it's the naked partier.
I mean, it wasn't like a huge, it was at our apartment.
But the
like, it
rumors
was a house
spread
party,
and
but
the
it wasn't
stories
like
were built and a
huge.
legacy was established that Tess was this badass partier.
Me?
You.
Me
Oh,
next.
damn.
Oh god, this is a really bad time to admit that I don't know how to read. Okay, so my first story is describe the worst person you've ever had to work with. And I said, he yelled at me in front of customers. I worked at this country club for a few months, and after I left, I was asked back to work a tournament for an extended weekend. Since I knew everybody there already, it was like riding a bike. When I had worked the first time, there was this manager I hated. We'll call him Short Man, because he was always condescending. On my third out of the 4 days I worked this tournament, I wore all black host clothes, and my shirt had the tiniest bit of a V in it. I made sure it was mossed enough for country club standards, and when I greeted Short Man, who just happened to be in the dining room at that moment, I saw him take in my clothes, and 3 minutes later, my dining room manager tells me I need to change shirts or put on a safety pin for my indecent outfit choice. Strike one. Already off to a good start for the day. So I pinned my stupid shirt and tell my manager, well, if he weren't boob height, then maybe he wouldn't have been able to see in my shirt, which is true, because this shrewish man is only 5'3", and he's awful. A few hours later, we are transitioning from the breakfast buffet into the lunch buffet, and my dining room manager is visibly frustrated as he enters, pursued by Short Man. I can't remember what the exact interaction was, but I have 2 men in full suits verbally sparring in front of the entrance of the dining room in front of guests waiting to come in. So I very politely say, you're both managers, perhaps it'd be better to do this not in front of the guests. Short Man turns to me, I was not speaking to you, this is not your place. Which I respond to by saying, you're literally standing at the podium. If you don't want me to call out your unprofessionalism, don't do it in front of me and the guests. He literally told me to shut up, so I said, grow a few inches before you talk to me like that, okay? And then I began seating guests for the lunch rush. Going back to that country club for 4 days was enough to remind me why I left in the first place. Tournament was fun, but that guy.
Yeah, we want to hear the rest of them.
Yeah.
I believe
possible.
that this is something that does happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading that and I was like, God, this story kind of sucks. Should have wrote better ones. Okay, nobody has a guess.
No.
I'm just that ambiguous. Next story. What's your best no one will believe this butt story?
Okay.
I did a spell and it went very wrong.
I believe that you believe you did a spell.
Go f- yourself, Tess. Go f- yourself.
Yeah.
Tess doesn't believe in anything, apparently. Okay, as a rising junior in college, I realized I had an interest in witchcraft and that the practice, to some degree, ran in the women along my father's side of the family. I'd always had an interest when I was younger, but thought, surely that's not real. Little did I know, magic just looks different, but it does indeed exist. So I get to college that year with my crystals, herbs, and self-made Book of Shadows, frequenting several metaphysical stores to purchase ingredients for full moon spells and the works. I was incredibly single at this time and decided I would do a manifestation love spell for the universe so she'd know to send something my way. I wrote an entire list of all my ideal qualities in a man, did some ritual stuff, and then sealed the list with wax. I distinctly remember thinking about someone in one of my classes during the ceremony and thought, oh, that'd be crazy if we fell in love, which I guess the universe heard. I had zero interest in this person, mind you, but the next day, I kid you not, started to feel different. This classmate was attentive and flirtatious. We ended up seeing each other for a bit, and he told me one night, I don't know what you did to me. It feels like you put a spell on me. This dude was devoted, wrapped around my finger. Then I leave for Christmas break, and I swear I felt the literal snap on my flight home, like the proximity of the spell had broken. He was distant and non-communicative. When I got back to school, he all but ignored my existence. I then did a tarot reading that literally told me his past would catch up to him. In parentheses, his ex-girlfriend he had started seeing again over winter break, and our relationship would end. So anyway, I cast a spell that made this dude fall in love with me, then broke the spell when I left for Christmas. Lesson learned, widen the boundaries when enchanting, and make sure to not think about the loser you sit next to in class.
I believe that.
Yeah. This sounds like a very, like, college thing. Like,
This feels like a very Ansley thing.
What does that mean?
it sounds very much like it was a real, like, we've all gone through that, had someone left and then came back, and then it was like, non-existent anymore.
Yeah,
but I feel like
did
this
magic.
is very much a confirmation bias
Yeah, but
for
I
you.
did a spell.
Okay, it was real magic.
I did a spell.
Yeah, no, I believe that you did a spell.
The wax crackles.
Yes, we.
No, we
both
believe that you did a
we both
spell.
believe you did a spell.
But I believe that they happen currently. You did the spell, and
Everyone
this thing
thinks
happened.
this one's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but wait, guys, you don't believe you believe. Do you believe in the magic? Like,
We believe you believe in the magic.
Yeah. Uh-huh. We support you.
okay, so
support you
next
when we
story.
see you.
What's the most difficult thing you've ever done? I almost went to the Olympics for swimming.
We believe you think you did.
we believe in your head. She was doing mermaid swims in the public
Mama's
pool.
got a center. Mama's got a center.
And she was like, I think that somebody's going to discover me.
I did. That would have been funny because I did do that. I used to swim all the time as a kid. I grew up next to several community pools and would make my mom take me there early to get laps in. When I got to high school, I was obviously on the school swim team, and I had some of the best times in the district. I was the only freshman on the varsity swim team, and I got scouted by Youth Olympics representatives halfway through the season. I began training the way the Olympians do, and was prepping for the Olympic team trials that were coming up in the summer. I was ready, excited, and determined. The trials were coming up, and I was ready to travel and compete to earn my spot. The night before I was set to leave, I went out with a friend to our local park, and we stayed out pretty late. Due to the deliriousness of being out until 1 a.m, I fell off the playset and shattered my right ankle, ultimately halting me from competing in the trials that year. Yeah, tough. After months and months of physical therapy, I was able to swim again, but not the same standard as before. My dreams of being on a Wheaties box were obliterated, and I was never able to swim as fast as I did then again. I converted to being a theater kid, and it helped me sing out my frustration for shattering my ankle and dreams. Even now, I try to swim around and match my old time, but it was never the same. R.I.P. to the Olympic dream.
Okay, so on one hand, I'm like, I feel like that could be true because I think it would be a good trick.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I feel like I would know this about you. I feel like you would have told us this.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm so traumatized from losing my Olympic dream that I could only ever talk about it under the guise that it's could be a lie.
What was the first story again?
The first one was about telling my manager to grow a few inches before he talked to me like that.
I feel like the first one is like probably true,
Yeah.
but there's like a part of me where it's like,
We both know the spell is true.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Clearly Ansley. 100.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to know what's funny about that? I also went on the internet and bought hawthorn needles and cursed that mother after he cheated. Anyway.
All right.
And he
so
died.
I'm
and
gonna
that
go.
worked.
I'm gonna go with the Olympics being the lie, although I'm not 100% sure. Do you want to do opposites so one of us is right? No.
Yeah,
Do what you actually think.
Like, I feel like the Olympic is probably not true, but you know what? There's something about telling. Not that I don't think that you wouldn't do this, but there's a part of me where I'm like, oh, telling off this guy while you're working, even though you're there for the tournament over the 4-day period, I'm like, I don't know. Something tells me that that's the lie.
I can't swim.
Oh.
I can swim, okay, but I've never once tried to.
we saw it's Lita Pool.
Yeah, I know. But we didn't see her swim. She was just
Yeah,
standing.
I didn't. So that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Also, I was like, God, the other two are dead. This is the dead giveaway because when have I ever mentioned Olympics?
That's what I'm
being
saying. Like, I feel like we would have probably heard that.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Or
And I
you've
was
been like, you know, online being like, fun fact about me, I was almost an Olympian.
yeah, I also have
even though
never
Vietnam's-
broken a bone, so shattered an ankle. I did tell him to grow a few inches before he talked to me like that. I also knew I was never gonna come back there.
Yeah.
And also, all of those people operate and they're men who just wear suits and then think they can talk to you a certain way.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me be the lesson you learn. And I will always have that. So anyway, not an
Okay.
Olympic swimmer.
All right.
Did cast a spell, and it was a real spell. It wasn't.
Okay.
It was just no.
Whatever you say.
You can't tell
Yeah.
me that because he said it. He said I put a spell on him, so he felt it, and then I left, and it broke. Okay, so that's what happened.
All right, here's my story, and it comes from the original Dove Deck, and it's what's something most people don't know about you. The Kia boys stole my car. One morning, I parked my Hyundai Tucson outside our apartment before heading to the gym. The next morning, gone. Vanished. I walked around the block, asked my wife, called LA impound lots, called my dealer to see if I had low jack. Of course, I didn't. Had to pay for that one. Yep, it was an upgrade. Day before, didn't think I would ever need it. And even reached out to friends I'd seen the night before to ask, dude, where's my car? No one knew. Nobody knew. Finally, I called the police and they eventually told me they couldn't find it in any of the lots or reports, so I should come down to the station and fill out a police report to say it was stolen. Then I called my insurance company. They said, we've been getting a lot of these lately. It's probably the Kia boys.
They knew.
My first thought was, why did a boy band named after a car company steal my car? Turns out, since the pandemic, 2015 to 2021 Kias and Hyundais didn't have immobilizers. Teens were breaking into them with a USB cable in the ignition and joyriding while posting the videos to TikTok. 3 weeks later, the police found my Tucson and it was totaled. And everything inside was gone.
I think this is true because what year did you say this was? Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
I didn't say what years this was. I said the years of the car.
Tell us what year it was, Gabe. Tell
That's
us.
okay. That's okay. In 2021, my Hyundai,
I don't know.
it got stolen.
Oh, word?
That's why I was like, because I was like, there's truth to
Okay,
that.
twins.
Okay.
Yeah, I had it on video. It's funny. I made a TikTok about it. Whatever.
Wow. I did not make a TikTok, obviously.
Duh.
Because who knows? Maybe it's not true.
Because you
I
knew
don't
this
know.
day was going to come.
Yeah.
We would have to guess if this is true or not. I think it's true.
All right.
Also, you told me when you were like 25, you went through a period where everything sucked and everything got stolen.
There was that period in my life. I did have a quarter-life crisis.
Yeah. Gabe was definitely 25 in 2015.
Oh, thank you. The next one is, what's your not my proudest moment story from the venting edition? I broke my arm trying to impress my crush.
Slay.
All right,
Classic.
here we go. I had won my school's history fair and was supposed to compete against every other winner in the state at the Capitol in Springfield, Illinois. But the night before, we had our 8th grade lock-in party, which was like a massive sleepover for all the graduating 8th graders.
We only did that at church, so that's sick.
Basically, one big celebration before high school. We had pizza, soda, ice cream, just a bunch of 13-year-olds running around on a sugar high. Later, everyone moved toward the gym to dance, play around, and goof off. A few of my friends and I from the basketball team were playing a game of horse. Eventually, my friend Bobby attempted this trick where he jumped off our other friend John's back to dunk. Naturally, our class started forming around us. Side note, there were chaperones, but they were hanging out in the lobby, not watching us. So, being the genius 13-year-old that I was and wanting to impress my crush, Lindsay, I said, I can do that. The crowd cheered. I dribbled, ran full speed, stepped on John's back, and launched myself toward the rim, and then everything went black. Next thing I know, I'm on the floor, and Lindsay and her friends are screaming bloody murder. I didn't even realize what had happened until someone said, "It's broken!" and pointed at my arm. Yep, I had broken my radius in 2 places on the basketball rim. Clean break, and I hadn't even made it in the basket.
Oh.
The next day, I showed up at the state history fair, still kind of drugged, with a brand new cast for people to sign.
I think that's true.
You can wait. You can wait.
I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Again,
wait.
I'm gullible.
I think it's possible.
Who knows?
I think it's true because it seems very Gabe to attempt a stunt.
That's how you got your wife, right?
Yeah. That's how I got her.
He said, Sandra, watch this.
I jumped out of one floor into another floor. I don't know. All right, here we go. Last story. What went wrong for you most recently? From the venting edition. My dog and I got skunked. Before bed, I usually take my dogs out for a nighttime tinkle. Normally, it's simple. Leashes on, walk down the block, back home, quick and easy. But on this night, it was around 1:30 a.m., and I was exhausted, so I thought, why not just let them out in the backyard? We have a backyard area. In and out, no problem. Oh boy, was I wrong. The dog, or one of my dogs, wandered over to the tree, lifted his leg, totally faked me out with the pee. Then he drifted towards the fence, separating us from the neighbor. I hear a rustle, a hiss, and then my dog whining. I rush over, and yep, a skunk is sprinting away, tail high, spraying straight at us. We got skunked. Next thing I know, my dog is sneezing uncontrollably, and the whole backyard smells like a chemical warfare experiment gone wrong. I call my wife to explain the situation so she can help de-skunk us. She's already cozy in bed, half asleep. She is not happy. After a few minutes, she comes out with 2 massive pitchers of water mixed with hydrogen peroxide, baking soda, and dish soap. Luckily, there's a hose in the backyard so I could bathe our dog down. Once he's clean, I strip down, toss my clothes in the washer, and hop in the shower to scrub myself with the same concoction. Lesson learned, do not get skunked. 0 out of 10. Would not recommend.
I
Skunk
think
story.
the broken arm is a lie.
What? Why?
Because I think that Gabe got skunked. I just have a feeling.
Yeah. All right, so you think it was the broken arm?
Yeah, no, I totally think it's the broken arm too.
You can think it's the skunk. I don't
know.
actually know.
I'm
don't know
gullible.
either.
They all sound true.
But I do think that there are skunks around LA.
No, okay, I'm sticking with it.
There are
I don't
definitely
think you were
skunks
skunked.
around LA.
I think if
They're
it was
all over the
recently, I
place.
would have heard about it. Like, I think you
Every
would have absolutely
neighborhood-
shared about it.
Every neighborhood I've lived in, there
This
has
is
been a
why I
skunk.
think that one's true.
I've never seen a skunk where I think that
You've
one's
never
a lie.
seen a skunk?
No, I got possums.
All right. The answer is the broken arm is the lie.
God damn it.
I did get skunked last week.
I didn't hear about this. Everybody know but me?
I did kind of make a reference because I was like, oh man, something just happened to me and I wanted to include it, but I can't talk about it. Yeah.
That's what I remember.
I know. And at that point, I was like, oh, probably already gave it away.
No, because
I was like, Gabe, you
Yeah.
already told us.
The truth, okay, so that story is true about the broken arm. I just didn't break my arm. So yes, I did have a lock-in, and I was going to the state history fair the next day. But the person that broke their arm was another kid, and I left probably 30 minutes before this went down because I was like, oh, I got to leave early. My mom's picking me up. I got to go leave early in the morning down to go to Springfield.
You were responsible history nerd.
Yeah, I was a responsible. The funny thing about that too is I did the history fair, and I put a lot of effort into it, and I was not expecting to win at all. I was thinking like this other girl, Teresa or Molly, were gonna win, and then during
Always a Teresa.
the one of them is actually or was I think a journalist for like Mother Jones. Ended up turning into that. But during this. I was joking with my friends, and we were like, "Oh yeah," and we did this like Seinfeld impression. We were like, "And the winner is Gabe Sanchez. What's the deal with that?" And then all of a sudden, 30 seconds later, they're like, and first place goes to Gabe Sanchez. And I was like, what the hell is going
You
on?
manifested it.
Wow.
See, magic is real.
Yeah. So I won. I beat all those
Wait,
smarty
what was
pants.
your topic?
Oh, it was on the Chicago race riot of 1919.
Cool.
Yeah. Story or part of history that not a lot of people know about.
And will be a race soon, so maybe Gabe should just get on the podcast and talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. So that is it for Delve Deck Stories. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, you can like, subscribe, and check out some of our other videos. And if you have a story that you would like to share with us, because we were all very brave sharing ours,
So brave.
you can go to share.delvedeck.com and we might read it on an episode.
Please do. We love you guys. Bye.